I originally planned to make a different topic for this video. A lot has changed actually in like the week that I didn't upload. I had a different idea for this video, but something happened that unfortunately was negative and kind of an L, but it had me thinking about some stuff, and I think it really was the first time that I like experienced something like that in a bit, just because like I haven't been able to like trust anyone in a bit. So it was definitely like not like a weird feeling. It's something I didn't miss, but at the same time it like didn't really phase me as much, just because the amount of like disappointment in my life and like the amount of times that certain situations have disappointed me have been kind of building up the sense of like, you know, being unfazed by that type of stuff now. So, you know, it's tough, right? Because I think something like this, I'll go a bit into it, but basically I actually did hit up one of my old talking stages, right? And worst idea ever, by the way. I don't know. I was honestly bored. It's funny, but yeah. Anyways, long story short, Halloween weekend happened, and then long story short, like she ended up like fucking someone over the weekend without telling me. So it's like that happened, and then like I pretty much had to like tell her what she was doing was wrong. And like even before that, like the reason it ended a long time ago was because like, she wasn't able to communicate, and then also like her emotional intelligence was not there, which is like a really important thing for me. Is if you're not emotionally intelligent, or like don't have the emotional capacity to not only like know when you're wrong, but also not be able to express feelings, and especially not know when you're in the wrong, it's like such like a big like turn off for me. It's like something that, you know, if I'm dealing with that, it's something that I have to go out of my way to not only like explain to you why you're in the wrong, but also like explain to you how your actions like affected me as a person. Because, you know, I'm also a person that has feelings. I'm also someone that experiences stuff, and right, like you doing those actions towards me, they also affect me, right? It's not only just you, but it's also just me. It was crazy, man. She left me undelivered for like 2 days, bro, and then I pretty much had to like force it out of her, like tell her like, yeah, like you can be honest with me, just tell me what happened, but no guarantee that I won't get mad, right? So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like the people that don't have emotional intelligence, man, it's like it sucks when you're trying to have like an actual, not civil, but like an actual like heart-to-heart conversation. It's rough when they don't understand you on an emotional level, and then you kind of have to explain yourself and then also try to help them understand where you're coming from. So it's, I don't know, it's rough. But besides the point, it was really rough talking to her. On my end, you know, like that shit sucks, because that's the first time I'm hearing something like that, right? And then she had the audacity to say, how come you didn't stop talking to me, right? I find that funny, because not only was she the one that let it continue that long, yes, I could have left, she was still responding, right? But in her words, right, I was asking her about this guy, right? She told me he was closer, we've known each other for months, but no relationship. I was asking her, right, if there was someone in your back pocket waiting for you, waiting for this moment, waiting for like a chance to be with you, right? Why would you let me back into your life and, you know, start talking to me as if, you know, there could have been something, right? She told me they had no relationship, no nothing, but just because they were closer, they could fall. Oh shit, this is funny, man. But if they had no relationship, no nothing, why were they fucking, right? Like, would that not mean there's some like at least some sort of like tension there, unless you wanted something casual? She told me before she wasn't ready, right? She wasn't ready for anything, and she still said that when I came back too. But then when this shit happens, she's ready, right? So I guess like, is there something different with me, or is it because like I'm just not there, or like, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. The situation was like, this pretty much happened on Saturday. I think it's the day I'm recording this, it's Monday night. I'm gonna get this out by like Tuesday morning at least. So yeah, like this happened all on Saturday while I was driving out my sister for some parties that for a Halloween weekend. But I think it was Sunday night. I actually was like, that was the first time I had like a crying sesh in a while. Like it was actually genuinely like an actual like emotional moment. So, you know what I'm saying? Like usually when I'm going through stuff like that, like I usually like lay in bed listening to like music that can relate to that, you know, a lot of not like the slower songs like Joji, Cigarettes After Sex, like that type of music. But also it's like, the reason I do that is not only because like it's in the mood for that type of thing, but it's like comforting, you know what I'm saying? It's like I feel like you can't listen to like opposite music to kind of like counteract the mood, but you know, I don't think I was feeling it that night, and I ended up you know, crying. It's something I actually don't do that often. If I'm ever in my head or something like that, I'm usually like coping with it by doing stuff. That was my first time experiencing something like that, so it was like something I wasn't able to deal with completely by myself. So it's yeah, I ended up crying for a bit, and it kind of just made me think that some people in this world are just straight up evil. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to accept that just because you let a lot of people into your life, and you know, they can be evil like that, but in the back of your mind, you know what I'm saying, like there's always that thought that you can change that, you can change them, you can change the outcome, or things will be different if you come back after a couple or after a period of time, right? I don't know, sometimes people can't change, and you know what I'm saying, that's the one thing I've learned from the situation, is that shit ended before for a reason. There wasn't a reason for me to start it now, and it ended this way because I came back. The reason it ended was because she's still an evil person, right? Like she didn't change. Nothing changed between like the 8 months we didn't talk. And you know what I'm saying? Like some people may think 8 months is not a lot of time, but bro, the amount of times I see people say like, oh, I've changed in like a month or 2 months, like it's crazy, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you can't put a timeline on change like that. You can't put a timeline on like waiting for someone to change, right? Like I think it's on the person for them to change, and for them to like not only develop and mature, but also like be aware of their actions and be aware of how their actions affect other people, right? So it's, you know, it's rough. She ended up still turning out to be evil. You know, I use evil as like a blanket term, but I think a better term would be maybe evil is the right word. I don't know. I'm just going off here of what I'm thinking, but it was kind of a setback because I felt like for the first time in like over a year and a half, I felt really good about myself. And I actually did try recording this before I figured out everything. So like the recording from before was a lot different, but I feel like now this one is a lot more articulate. And the one before was in the car. Like I actually was gonna record some car videos again because it is getting cold, but I do like the setup here. I think it looks pretty nice. I got a new haircut, by the way. Off track. My hair is kind of flat right now because I have really flat hair and there's no texture powder. I just got texture powder, so I'm gonna try and see how that works out. But if there's one thing you can learn from this video, is that, you know, some people can just be too evil to the point where they can't change, and you know, that's gonna be okay. Some people are supposed to be temporary in your life, and some people are supposed to teach you something. Even though they don't stick, they're there for a reason, right? It's like they can be there to teach you, they can be there to give you an experience, but it doesn't mean that they're going to be there in your life forever, right? So it was something I never really thought about before that situation, and you know, looking back now, I think it's a really important lesson. You know, I think it just means you can't let people easily into your life. That might just be me talking, you know what I'm saying? Because for the longest time, it was really hard to trust anyone. You know, not letting people easily into your life, not getting attached too easily, and you know, just looking out for yourself is the biggest things I can give for you if you need advice, right? It's like I'm the biggest believer in looking for yourself and putting yourself first. You know what I'm saying? You can't be a people pleaser, right? Like I used to be that. I used to be a people pleaser, a person pleaser, I don't know, you know, putting their feelings ahead of mine. It was a really like gut-wrenching experience just because of you're putting others before yourself when what you want and your well-being should be the number one priority in your life. You know, whether it's like your job, if you're happy in your job, you know, if you're not happy where you are right now, then you know what I'm saying, look out for yourself, start taking steps to get into the right direction. You know, if you don't have that, then it's kind of hard to like progress in life and kind of like progress yourself as a person, right? So there's nothing worse than going through like a gut-wrenching experience like this, but you know, you live and you learn. That's kind of my fault for trying to run it back, I guess. No LaMelo Ball. I feel like this has been a different type of video because I think in the past I would have been a lot more vague about the situation, but I put it out on full display because I think it's something really worth talking about and kind of cataloging. So don't know if I'm gonna do like weekly videos like this. I'm kind of deciding. I actually am ramping up content a lot more now, and I do have some stuff planned. I actually do have some like TikTok idea plans, but for YouTube, I think longer form content is not really like a struggle, but it's hard to get like a viewership on them. So it's, you know, I might need to figure out some stuff. But I appreciate anyone who's watching. Probably one of my longest videos yet, and I'll see you guys in the next one.